questions, feel free to type them in the chat and we can go over them at the end. So I will start this. All right, so we are hosting it at Chagrin Valley Athletic Club. So this building is actually not the tennis building, it's the main building. We will have a room in there for players to go eat and relax if they don't want to, if they have a break. We'll get into that. So that's the main front of the building you'll see when you show up. If you're staying at the hotels, this is kind of it's a pretty straight shot on the highway from the hotel to the facility. It's about 15 minutes via the highway. So just, plan on that. Depending on the time of day on Friday, if you're doing it around after like 3:30, traffic does pick up a little bit. So, give yourself a little bit of time there. So if you're coming from the hotel, you're likely going to be coming on Snyder Road. So the facility should be on the left. That main building that I showed you is right here. The tennis facility is in the back. So when you turn left, you'll go past the main building. Okay, you'll see the big lake on the right-hand side, and the tennis facility is in the back of the property. So just keep that in mind.
Not really a big a deal, but I think that...
So by now, hopefully you guys have all taken a look
BS, in my
at
opinion,
the draws.
I want to know why.
So we should, I'll see if I can click on this tournament homepage, if it'll load for me. Of course it won't. But if you haven't seen them, that's the main draw homepage. Just click on the draws. They're there. You can look at the consolation round, the main draws. I'm assuming most of you guys have done that by now. One of the big things we need to cover is just kind of the Coven Basics. Pretty much everyone's used to all this by now, but if you're coming from out of state, every state's a little different. I know, Michigan and Wisconsin, they all have different rules. Just make sure you're wearing a mask at all time when you're off the court. You don't have to wear one while you're playing, but anytime you're off the court, minus, maybe having a drink or something real quick, take a sip, put it back on. It's also, it's state mandate, but facility mandate. Hopefully you're not bringing more than one guest. You can bring one person to watch, but keep it limited to one. We're asking that you try and leave once your match is over. Now, since this is a tournament,
you're gonna flip
a lot of you will have, like, say, a match at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. If you don't want to go back, and it's not too crowded, you could probably stay in the tennis building.
To be honest,
there is like
the
a
USTA
balcony
would just
area.
Do a regular
if it's not too crowded, we don't mind you staying. And then if we will have that room in the main building, a banquet room, where you can go and relax, eat some food, unwind, whatever, kind of spread out the people so everyone's not hanging out in the tennis building. The tennis building has 9 courts, 6 in one bank, and then 3 in the back. So there is a fair amount of room, but by the middle of the day, there'll be a lot of overlap with matches starting, new people showing up. So we just ask that you kind of, if you can leave, do, but if you have another match, we don't expect you to leave and come back if it's, now if you have like an 8-hour break, we'd probably say, hey, maybe leave and come back. So at their facility, per the Ohio rules, there's no water stations,
Can you guys not hear me?
towels, or running showers. They're just not allowed to do that. So, if you're a person who likes towels, make sure you bring them. Fill your water before you come. Obviously, they have sinks in the bathrooms. You could fill water that way. We will have some bottled water as well. We obviously won't have enough for every person for every match. So hopefully, come prepared, fill your water. And again, sinks in the bathroom, you can always fill it. But they know this facility normally has water.
You guys can hear me, right?
Not have that right now. So pre-match. So prior to your first match, make sure you stop at the tournament desk. So should note, when you get to the tennis facility building, you'll come in and you'll wrap around and go left. into like the lobby. You'll go through the lobby, through
I
these
will,
double
Ranger.
doors. There'll be a sign that says tournament desk with an arrow, and you'll actually enter this building and then go down the steps, and we'll be around the corner. So go through the main building and come down the steps. That's where the tournament desk is. The
I'm
main
trying
desk,
not to speak
um,
softly, but
they
it's the
won't
best I
know
can do.
any information other than tournament desk that way. So just let you know, stop in. We'll have a printout of the
Okay.
rules. We'll
Sorry
also
about
have
that,
a
guys.
printout on the back of the rules of just some
So Derek
dining
is
options in
the
case you're from out
coordinator
of
for
town.
this
There's a
sectionals
ton of
tournament, so
stuff
he's got a pretty hard job making it on,
within
but
5 minutes
doesn't
of
mean I
the
can't ask hard
facility, and
questions.
then by the hotel in Solon, there's a ton of fast food and sit down restaurants as well. So you definitely won't go hungry. And just try to arrive at least 10 minutes before your match. We always like people, the earlier the better, but in this case, because of COVID, try not to arrive too early, but enough because if there are courts and you're ready to go, we'll put you out. So check in the tournament desk,
Guys, what do you think the
but
player's
don't
gift
check
is
in
going to
until you're
be?
ready to play. A lot of times
I'm
people
hoping it's a
check
beer
in and then
from
I'll have
Taco
a
Bell.
court like, you ready to go? And then they go, oh no, I have to do, such and such. So don't come to check in until you're ready because we'll put you out if we have a court. We want to keep things, going pretty smoothly. So if you have not done Fast Four or you haven't done it in a while, so you will spin your racket prior to warm up. It's only a 5 minute warm up. I know people are like, what? But that's standard tournament warm up, 5 minutes. So really hit some ground strokes, hit some serves, and get going. Basically, um, there will be officials roaming, and they'll have their stopwatches and stuff. So they'll be timing it. So really, once you get out there, get moving, take advantage of all 5 minutes. This game scoring is no ads, so at 40-40, or 4-4. Some people count it as when they do fast
Okay.
forward, they say
This
one
should be
zero,
better
one one,
audio-wise.
2-1, 2-2. Either way,
Sorry, this
doesn't
was,
matter.
again, kind of last minute.
At deuce, the returner will select which side they want to receive from. The winner at that point wins the game. And it's always confusing because fast forward normally, like on a serve that hits the net, you have to play it. We're not doing that. It's normal let rule, as in it's a reserve if it hits the net and lands in the box. So we won't deal with that. Switching sides. You switch sides every 4 games. So that really means you're only switching one time at most in a set. Hence, fast four. Switching sides makes sets longer.
Oh,
So
this
you
is
only
a
switch every
very
four
boring
games. Of
presentation.
course, if you need a drink, grab a drink after the second and sixth game as well. You can even
Yeah,
bring
Rainier
the
Tennis,
back of the
that's one of the
curtain with
things I
you,
was
keep
kind of
it up to
scared
the
of.
net, grab a quick drink, but it's not a changeover.
A let cord winner.
And it's actually
Yeah.
only 60
I
seconds
hate Fast
between
Four so much.
changeovers, not 90. So keep that in mind as well. Again, the whole point of a fast four is to keep it moving. And a set is won by the first of four, win by one, with the tiebreak at 3-3. We'll get into the tiebreak, which
A
is played at
tiebreak.
3-all.
3-3, okay.
First to 5 points used to, for those of you
All right. First to 5 points, win by
remember,
1.
this
How
is the
awesome is that if
traditional
you're a
old
big server,
9-point
right?
tiebreak the leagues used to play.
Jesus.
First to 5 points, win by one. For the first 8 points, you'll keep the same service rotation that you had in the set. So even doubles, singles, it's really easy to remember: 2-2-2-2. Doubles, basically every person serves twice
Oh my god.
in this, same order that you've been going for that last set. Then if you reach
This is
4
kind of like
4, someone
the
spins the racket. The winner will
pre-presentation
either select
rules
to
before my
serve
sectionals
or
tournament assembly
return.
brick.
If you select to return, most people select to serve, but if you select to
But I'll be
return, you
taking questions
also
after this
will
is done,
select
don't worry.
which side to return from, as an add or deuce, not which side of the court. And then if you select to serve, the other person still will select which side they want to return from. Much like the set, trade ends after only the fourth point. So after 4 points, switch sides. Don't switch after 8. Just switch after 4. Um, any questions with that, we'll help you through it. Match is 2 out of 3 full sets. So if it's split sets, you play a full third. So after the match, come up to the tournament desk immediately after, mainly because we want to get another match out there. So kind of, don't linger or don't go somewhere else to the bathroom.
Oh, the great Ian
Come to us
Westerman.
first to report your scores. both singles players or one doubles player
Ian,
from each team.
I'm not a fan of
Don't
this
forget
fast
to bring
four
your
stuff.
balls.
It's
There'll be a
ridiculous.
box in front of the tournament table. You'll throw them in the box, nice and simple. And then we will verify your next match time. Now, all of it,
Rainier Tennis. That's why.
Crossed, will
that's
be
why I want to
viewable
question this guy.
on the tournament homepage as we update the draws. It's the new tournament platform for the USTA. Will be great when it works out all its bugs, but it's still having issues. So we're hopeful that it all goes well this weekend, but if it doesn't, we have all the draws and stuff printed and hanging at CVAC, and we have paper as well. So we will confirm everything with you before you leave. So don't just rely on the computer simply because it may not work, but fingers crossed it will. And then, of course, the top 2 finishers will earn the automatic berths to national. It's also important to note, though, that some people who may not want to or can't attend the national event, so where you finish and the rest of it could depend on whether or not you get to go. So if you're out of the top 2, it doesn't mean you're out completely.
All right.
Okay, so we will get into the questions. Someone asked if we're doing a questions voice or chat. Put them in the chat for now.
Oh, he's.
So we have partners intro paying online. Can he pay on Friday when we arrive? Yes, actually, he's going to send an email out to people tomorrow. There's a couple people who hadn't paid yet, so that would be great. Just bring a check.
Oh yeah,
and that would work.
Ian's ankle is doing much better.
What are the numbers by some people's names 1 and 2? So those are seeds. Certain events, I think. Some with only 4 teams, and they don't have seeds. But you'll notice the draws, some have up to 4 seeds, others have 2.
I feel sorry for people in online schooling.
We just seeded the event based on NTRP rating, and you're saying, but everyone on the 3.0 is a 3.0 or a 3.5. Midwest actually has access to your complete rating, like 3.0126, whatever. So we used that to seed the players.
Yeah, I'm the number 1 seed, guys, for this tournament.
We did that. Spectators allowed. Just the 1 is, preferred. Obviously, if someone else were to sneak in, I guess we probably wouldn't notice. But the facility wants to keep it to as little people as possible, just because they don't want to get in trouble with the state. So we ask that you don't take huge advantage of us. Numbers are seeding. Yes. There's the chat. Seating was based on what? Yes, it was based on dynamic rating. Now, if you were a self-rate, you were not included because you don't have a computer rate. Some people actually were asking about how did self-rates get in, because normally this is a computer-rated tournament only. Self-rates were allowed in this year because there were no ratings last year, so that National opened it up that way. So hopefully everyone who is self-rate is not sandbagging it.
I should have self-rated 4.0 or 3.5, guys.
Are there cameras on the court? No,
Zoom
unfortunately there are not.
Zoom is absolutely horrible. It's the worst platform that's being popularly
love
used.
To have that technology.
Google Meets is so much better than this.
We've been looking into it as a district.
Look at this 1990 garbage UI.
I know it's
so
out
bad.
there. So, but not for this event. Are there nearby courts for warm-up? So not indoor. Outside, actually right across the street, about a quarter of a mile, is Kenston High School.
Right. I got to warm up outside.
Of their nets
At least this was Saria Tennis. I had to warm up outside before this tournament. How awesome was that?
Here in Cleveland today, it was about 50. It's going to be in the 40s, I think, for the rest of the week. I don't know about rain.
Ian, what do you think about this no warm-up stuff
certainly
indoors?
Can go over there. But there won't be any indoor courts to warm up because we had such a turnout this year that we're using all the courts pretty much the whole time. Yeah. So unfortunately, that would be your best option. If you want to guarantee yourself courts, I would call Western Reserve Racket Club. They're about 20 minutes from, there's Wembley too. Wembley's a lot closer. Wembley Club is probably 5 minutes away. Now that I think about it, I know they're pretty booked that weekend with the pickleball event. But Wembley Club or Western Reserve,
Dave
you might be
Lee,
able to
I
snag a
I
court.
agree. Just too
Um,
much pressure,
they might let
and
you
it definitely
warm up
benefits the
on
big
that.
servers. Because if it's deuce and you have a break point against
Okay,
a big
Mark's
server,
got
they
a
can just hit an ace.
voice question. Mark, if you can unmute yourself, you can ask it. I don't know if I have to do it or not.
Can you hear me? This is Mark.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just curious why, for a big tournament like this, obviously you're in a pretty difficult position with this pandemic. Why such an important tennis tournament, such as Midwest sectionals and possibly nationals, if it's the same format, is such a different type of scoring system than what we were used to growing up as kids, or USTA leagues, or even 4 or 5, the NTRP regular tournaments we're all accustomed to.
Sure. I can get into that. It comes from national. So this event actually was initially like titled NTRP Fast Four National Championship. They kind of dropped the Fast Four. Um, the whole Fast Four format has been growing simply because it normally, for smaller like local level events, you could play it in a day. In a few hours, you could play 3 or 4 matches. Um, so the goal was local people can play in one day, and then they're like, hey, we could advance this on to Midwest and national, and they've kind of grown it. Um, and I think because it's grown so much, it allows them to have such big draws. They do for national, they do 32 person draws. Actually, this year will be 64 because they're going to include the 2019 or 2020 people. Sorry. So it allows them to get in more matches. It's really just a scheduling thing. Yeah. So it became like this NTRP national championship thing where it's almost like league champion national championships. But it comes from the Fast Four event, and they just kind of dropped the Fast Four. So I don't see it as like a traditional event. I see it still as the Fast Four national championship. I wish they kind of included that in the name, so everyone kind of knew it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of weird that the USTA tournaments, not even state league, because state league is a team format. I understand that, but it's it's just completely different from what me and I'm assuming a lot of people in this chat and this Zoom call are kind of accustomed to. So you're saying that it's because of you could get more matches in within a limited amount of resources, correct?
Yes, and again for locally, it's about being able to do it like basically in one day. You can do the event. Now, obviously, when you bring in all the districts for the Midwest, it takes multiple time. But theoretically, say you're playing 3 total matches, you might not even be on the court for 3 hours. So it's short. So they're able to get. I played the national one the first 2 years they did it, and it's nice just because it's there's so many people and there's so much tennis going on, but it doesn't take your whole day. You get to go down there and you get to do other stuff. But yeah, so it's just kind of a different approach that they've been trying. I know some people don't love the Fast Four. I don't mind it. It's just just have to know going into it that it's not a traditional tennis format for sure.
Correct, and I agree. And this is my last follow up. I don't want to take up the entire time. And I do appreciate you and everybody else at USA that has set this up. Given 2020 and early part of 2021 is kind of a weird one. But don't you think that as different as it is, right? Um, doesn't it give for both doubles and singles a different type of strategy coming in versus a regular 2 out of 3 set? First to six.
100%, and that's why I think I know some of my friends don't like it at all, and they won't play it. I don't mind it. I kind of like I we in our permanent court time groups over the years, we always did like the no ad scoring with the we always called it the money ball, and I like that excitement and that adrenaline kind of thing. Just a totally different approach to the game, and but yeah, it is totally different, and again, that's why
Yeah,
I think
they
they
want
should
more money,
almost
guys.
change the name to and back to the NTRP Fast Four
Yeah,
championships.
that's how it
But
is.
all right, top two
Um,
finisher.
Hi,
Yeah,
my name's Di. I just wanted to back up what Mark is feeling. I agree. I hear what your explanation is where they're coming from for local level, but when people start traveling and then the idea of cutting down the playtime, that doesn't make sense. And this format throws in a higher percent of luck factor for sure. So yeah, to me, it doesn't make sense either when you start getting into tournaments where people are traveling and then even, nationally and spending a lot of money traveling. I don't think those are the players that want to be done in 3 hours.
right. Sure. Yeah, I think also too.
Yeah, your bedroom punk. Yeah, I know,
The
right?
hope normally is you could do more round robin formats so you get more matches, so you still kind of equal the amount of time. Um, Unfortunately for us this year, last year this event pre-pandemic had about 150
But do
total
you guys agree I'm being
participants.
respectful? I know
So we,
when I did my tennis
Midwest was
warehouse thing with
thinking this
Yonex,
year in
some
a
people in the
pandemic
comment section thought I was an
traveling, we
asshole for
would be
doing it.
lucky to get
I'm being
100.
very,
Well, we
very
ended up getting
respectful. I
over
already complimented
200,
Derek and a few
which
people
is just
in the USTA organization
crazy when you think
several
about it.
times
To,
about,
to go
hey,
over
thanks for
from
setting this up.
last
I'm just
year,
curious about
so
why
that
this
kind of
question, why
limited
this is. So do
the
you guys
options
agree I've
for
been
so
very respectful the entire
in
time,
terms of
but also still
getting
being
3 or
somewhat
4
critical
guaranteed
about
matches.
the idea of fast food?
At
Not critical
national,
of
you
Derek.
will
He's
get
just a human being, right? He's got
you get
emotions.
4 or 5.
He's put in a difficult position. But I'm
Use,
criticizing the
facility
idea
with
of the USTA
20
making
to
this
30
fast forward.
courts, which we just at the Midwest, other than North Central High School, which we can't use right now. There's no indoor facility that could house that. So the national event, you do get um, a lot of playing time. I definitely think so. The travel is more worth your money, I guess, kind of thing. But I understand what you're saying, and I certainly will, forward along the comments to the Midwest. Us at the district level, we don't really have power on too much decision making, but we certainly can pass it along. So it says, if we lose, do we get another match? Yeah, you're guaranteed at least 2 matches. Most people will get 3 or more. Win, and you'll probably get 4 at least. So
Should I start fighting people in the chat section in Zoom? Just
4 to 6, 4 to 8
just start saying, you better shut your
I think is pretty good.
up.
Yep. Heidi, I saw you unmute. Did you want to?
Yeah. So the question there's a bunch of us that have just questions on the scoring real quick. So
Sure.
If the top 2 teams in doubles or top 2 players get an invitation to nationals, is it the top 2 of the first bracket where if you lose, you get thrown into the consolation bracket? We're just confused on how that works.
Yeah, so you have to basically make the finals to be the top. So
okay,
in
so
this
the top
format,
2 meaning you have to
if
make
you
the
make
finals.
the finals, you're
Okay.
already guaranteed a spot. You're just playing for first or second, pretty much.
Okay.
Just for bragging rights. But the consolation bracket's important to win third and fourth. 1, because if someone doesn't want to go, but 2, then oftentimes once all the section, there's 17 sections in each. Well, I think they do 16. One doesn't get it. One of them's really small. I don't remember which one. But each section gets 2 guaranteed spots for the draw of 32.
Yeah, they do like a backfill, like a constant backfill, probably.
Yeah, so once, people from X, and I'm sure it's going to happen.
Rainier is actually $270
say from middle state, they don't send
something like that,
anybody.
plus hotel.
Now they all of a sudden have 2 spots, so it's important, how you finish. So
we'll exactly, Hayden Moyer. Well, even
6,
so,
top 8
for me, 3 sets in a men's major, that's not really that extreme.
Singles,
it would be weird, but it's not extreme in my opinion, because women's tennis, professional tennis at Grand Slam levels, they play, best of 3 sets, which is fantastic.
No, because
that's kind of like for men's professional tennis. It's for Grand Slams.
Oh no.
Sorry, for any
Jennifer, you're
Grand Slam,
double
for any
booked
tournament,
for singles and doubles
it's just no ad.
at 3 o'clock.
Can you
Are
imagine?
those, Jennifer, are those both your
Can you
first
imagine
match,
that?
or is that
For
a
like
possible
John Isner, how easy that would
second
be.
match?
That's ridiculous.
Jennifer's there.
I think ours is a round robin, maybe in the 4-5s.
Oh,
All of our matches
correct, yeah.
are already
The
scheduled.
ATP Finals is a joke.
I guess
Sorry,
that's
the
a
next gen
question I have.
ATP.
Is
Like,
it
is that
best
the
of
one
four?
I changed today?
And winning a tiebreaker by one? You know how stupid that is?
No.
Did you email me earlier?
No.
Okay, that was another 4-5. I will, let me write that down and I will double check. So you're playing singles and doubles at 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I changed one from 3 to like 4:30, so that shouldn't be an issue. Thank you for.
Sure.
What's up, Syria?
And it is a round robin then in
For
those
the 4-5s,
two?
yeah, for both of those are round robins.
So
And
Syria,
then, will there be?
if you're up for it,
It's
and
just
if you want to
then first,
coach me and
second,
warm
third,
me up and be
fourth,
my
and
camera
that, or
guy
will
for
there
some of
be
these
the top two
some of
play
these
on
tournaments,
Sunday or anything, or how does
you're
No,
gonna have
it's
to
just,
warm up
top-
outside.
Top two.
So
Top
that's
two.
gonna be fun.
Okay.
Really
Three
good for my elbow.
Correct.
Correct. Your
Tiebreak
bedroom
at
punk.
4-all. If you choose to serve, you get to pick the server. Yes, any either person can serve at that point, so you get to pick it. Nationals. Heidi answered yes. In Arizona, separate weekends.
Yeah, the next gen ATP
Everyone's-
does
it's
seem
a
to be
surprise.
a testing
It's a
ground.
very nice,
So,
complex.
I don't even really
20
mind they take out the
some,
doubles alley line. That's perfectly fine.
facilities
But the
across
fast
the street
four no
from
ad
it.
is
It's
just
the
complete.
Texas
It's just a
Rangers,
bastardization of the sport.
Spring training
my opinion.
site. Oh, thanks, Allison. Yep, that was you, of course. Will you send a copy of the rules? I can send.
No, if you want to
if
warm me
you
up for the
email
tournament
me,
on Saturday,
adult
it's gonna have to be
at
outside at like a local high school.
NEOhiotennis.com. I can email you this PowerPoint, but I will have a printout of the rules for you when you check in for your first match, so you can have it on court with you, and in case any questions come up. Our officials will be briefed on it all, and they should be able to
Yeah,
answer
but
any
I don't know if
questions you
Syria has
have, but,
compression balls.
you know, if anything comes up, hopefully that sheet should cover anything.
No, Mr.
All
Pink,
right.
it's a
Any other
tiebreak at 3-3,
questions?
which is stupid. No questions. Again, Derek, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just asking why the USTA has decided to do this. So again, thank you very much for answering my question.
No problem. Okay. Jennifer, I will look. Yep. So my email is adult@neohiotennis.com.
Yeah, Matt DiMaggio. I completely agree. Completely
So
agree.
you can email me, Jennifer. I will go look at that schedule right now, and we'll try to get that changed for you.
Yeah, Syria. I'd be surprised if by
All right, everybody.
2022,
Thank you very much.
you and what's his name, Acing Tennis, aren't legit 4-0s by then, because you guys have been making very good progress. So let's take a look at the draw. So actually, let's put on some music. Why don't we? This is gonna be a short one. I just want to kind of talk through this because I'm actually gonna record a video on the Pros Pro Interceptor. I just got busy yesterday, and then I'm gonna start packing a little bit and vlogging, doing like an intro vlog to this whole journey for sectionals, and then hopefully I actually got to get some work done because I'm a little bit behind on work because I hit with Ian out of Essential Tennis earlier today. I kind of skipped out on work early, which is perfectly fine. Stream beats lo-fi. Okay, so this audio level should be good. Sorry about the audio earlier. It was a little bit of a nightmare. So, how much are these tournaments cost to play in? Yeah, Bruce Ray. So, yeah, that's So I'm not necessarily triggered or irked or crossed or, you know, whatever insert adjective you have here, because I knew it was fast forward to begin with, but it's one of those things where this, in my opinion, would be exponentially better if this was a normal, you know, 6-set, 2 out of 3, even a 10-point tiebreak. Hell, even if it was no ad, it wouldn't be nearly as bad. I prefer ad, just because that's the way I kind of grew up. But yeah, I mean, I'm traveling. Let's see, I spent $270 on my plane ticket round trip. Thankfully, it's not that expensive. I have to pay my either a parking garage for 4 days with my Mercedes that I'm going to be driving to the airport, or I could Uber. I haven't decided yet. I can decide last minute tomorrow. The hotel is about $80 a night, so that's Thursday to Friday, Friday to Saturday, Saturday to Sunday, Sunday to Monday. So that's 4 nights in a hotel. That's 4 days, plus the car rental and the gas of the car rental, plus all the. So it's 200. Let's do the calculation for that, right? I'll bring up my notepad. I didn't buy the V-Core, but it didn't, because it didn't have as much natural power. Like, I was thinking about it, but it didn't have enough natural power for me. It was great for flat strokes, really good for my one-handed backhand, but I just didn't feel comfortable biting it because it just didn't have enough natural power. Plus, who's to say that the Yonex V-Core 95 won't give me arm problems like my EZO 98 did? So that was kind of in the back of my head. So flight, $250, car rental with gas. I think that is $80 over 4. I would say 75 over 4 days. Hotel, 4 days. 4 times 80. Hey Google, what's 4 times 80?
4 times 80 is 320.
Yeah. I'm not doing this for you guys to give me donations. I'm telling you, like, what the cost actually is for me to play a tennis tournament 3.5 states away and have it be fast 4. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this because I want money from you guys. Food is gonna be modestly $100, right, over 4 days, because I can't bring food with me on an airplane. Tennis equipment, not gonna be a problem. Am I missing anything here? Yeah, luckily for me, like, money isn't really an issue because I'm not married. I don't have debt. I actually recently paid off my car loan. And I don't have a mortgage. I own this condo, which is fantastic. And I have a well-paying job as a software engineer. Plus, I have side hustles such as YouTube and stringing tennis rackets and teaching tennis, right? So I've got a lot of blessings on my head. So that's why, like, I'm kind of doing this to help you guys be a little bit more informed as well, whether it's tennis strings. Oh, the tournament fee. Good call. Good call. So the tournament fee. Wow, that was an easy one. So the tournament fee is $75, right? Oh, tournament fee is $75. And this is a very, very important thing that you guys, not necessarily you guys, but a lot of people overlook, including you guys, is the opportunity cost, right? So the opportunity cost for my PTO of full-time job. So that is, I think, 1 full day. So without getting too much detail, let's say I make $250 a day. I'm taking 8 hours off. $250 take home because, you know, obviously you got insurance, you got 401k. But let's say I make $250 a day in my full-time job straight cash after taxes, after all the deductions. Plus the opportunity cost of YouTube. Actually, there's no opportunity cost of YouTube because I'm making different types of content, so that's not necessarily an issue. Stringing tennis rackets, not necessarily an issue, but there is definitely an opportunity cost of teaching tennis because I had to cancel lessons. Part-time. I think, let's see. I don't want to bring up my calendar because there's personal information on that. But I believe I make $200 a weekend day teaching tennis, right? Pure profit. So that is $400 of teaching tennis I have to cancel. So the total for this, right? So the total for this is 250 plus 75 plus 320 plus 100 plus 75 plus 250 plus 400. The total cost, including opportunity cost for this tennis tournament, is just under $1,500, right? So it's kind of, I personally think it's kind of bullshit. And chat, agree with me. Feel free to disagree with me, right? But I personally, it's kind of BS that I'm spending $1,500, right? $1,500 to play a fast four format. And the woman who I'm probably gonna buy a beer at the tournament if I ever meet her. But the woman was absolutely right. She kind of went on it in a more emotional standpoint, which is perfectly okay, right? I'm an emotional person too, but I had the time to think and construct respectfully my criticism of, this fast four for a non-local tennis tournament, because people are traveling from all around the Midwest for this, is kind of bullshit, right? So I have a bye because I'm the 1 seed. Luckily, I'm the 1 seed. So that is 1 match, and this is best case scenario, right? 1 match, 2 match, 3 matches over the course of, oh my god, this 11:30 a.m. Syria to 8:40. Oh my god, that's gonna suck to wait. So that's 1 match, 2 match, and then 3 match. So that's 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 4 set, 5 set. I'm literally spending $1,500, right? $1,500 to play 6 sets. And that 6 sets is 4 games per set, theoretically, right? So 24 games, right? 24 games. So, I'm getting mad now that I'm seeing these numbers, and, I'm hoping that I can bring a light to this. Divide by 24 games. I'm paying $62. 63 bucks. You know what? Let's say 69 because it's funny. $69 per game. When I could literally play the exact same game with probably higher level people, but obviously not qualifying for a national berth at all in USTA, I can get paid to play tennis. I'm paying $69 per game. Okay, let's go back to 62. It's kind of bullshit, right? And what's the average points in a game of no ad, right? So let's say love to 15 to 30 to 40. And then let's say it's 40-30. So 5 points per game on average, right? This is just number of averages. So let's assume actually, no, hold on. This is wrong. Let's assume each match is only 2 sets, right? So 3 matches times 2 sets equals 6 sets. Okay, I want to clarify that. So let's also assume it's let's see. Let's say every set I win is 4-2, which is possible, right? I'm hoping it's better than that. Each set I play and win, right? So that is 6. That is 6 games played, not one. 6 games played per set, right? So that is 6 games times 6 sets. So that's $36. That's 36 games in this theoretical result I have in the back of my head, right? So let's say that it is 1,500 divided by 36 now. I'm paying $42 per game. On average, theoretical. At USTA. I'm not going to add it because I use USTA for other things too, but Hayden Moyer, that is an absolutely good point. And, you know, I rounded up from 1,500, so that's really, you know, it's... Yeah. Yeah, the USTA. Oh, yeah, Rainier Tennis, you're absolutely right. We want to make more tennis accessible, and then they... They're in it for the money. You guys have to understand, just because a company is technically non-profit, like the USTA is, it's just a tax code at the end of the day. They still want money, dude. So I'm spending $42 per game, okay? So let's break this down even further. Let's assume that each game is 6 points. Let's assume each game is 6 points, right? Love to 15, to 30, to 40, to love to 15, 30. So 6 games, no ad scoring. That, I think that's actually a pretty liberal estimate in my opinion. So that is $42 divided by 6. Is that 7? $7 per... Yeah, because 6 times 6 is 36. Yeah, $7 per point. Now, let me ask you guys this. Would you ever play a sport where every point you play in a competitive, like, kind of like tracked official setting, you have to pay $7 for as an average human being? Would you ever do that? That's ridiculous. So let's break it down even further, right? So how many strokes are in a point in, let's say, singles, right? So you got the serve, you got the return. Let's say 5 strokes, right? Serve, return, shot 1, shot 2, and then shot 3 comes up in an error. So 5, all right? So $7. Let's assume each point is 5 strokes, including serve, right? Is that 1.25? Hey Google, what's 7 divided by 5?
7 divided by 5 is 1.4.
1.4. So, oh yeah. UTR TIC 2014 is so much better than the USTA, right? So, do you guys see this? So, is my math right? Like, am I missing? Because obviously I have to operate on some assumptions, right? So the total cost is $1,500. I think my math is right if my assumptions are within ballpark range. That literally every single shot I hit is gonna cost me $1.40. That's ridiculous. Oh yeah, Naomi, I completely agree. Because, like, and again, I'm doing this because I want to show you guys why the USTA is kind of losing traction in non-junior events. And also because I do want to qualify for nationals. I absolutely agree. But like, $7 per point, right? $1.40 every time you strike the ball in a point. Yeah, you're gonna lose talent, Naomi. You absolutely are. Oh, hey, Hayden Moyer, if I would gladly pay $200 for 3 guaranteed matches and an open bar. I would make my money back on the open bar itself, given I'm not training for a tennis tournament. Because my tolerance is kind of like a little bit low right now. But yeah, I agree. Rainier Tennis, USTA is a RPM blast of tennis tournaments. So yeah, Do you guys agree with my math? Let me know in chat, because I think my math is pretty sound on this. Alex Henderson, that is a good point, and typically that is what I do, right? Even when there was men's open tournaments, USTA men's open tournaments in the Milwaukee area, I would typically decline it because I could just text my buddy and just play tennis with them outside or inside if it's winter season. I agree, but like I do want to qualify for national. I do want to qualify. I do want to win nationals. Yeah, warm up is free if it's outside in Ohio weather in late February. Yeah, Ticey 2014. This is actually how software engineers have to think. Like we break down a business problem of like, hey, $1,500. That's kind of expensive for a tennis tournament, given it's fast four. And then we present it in a very, I mean, this isn't even complex math. It's just based on assumptions and, you know, dollar business value in dollars, because that's what business people like to talk about. Yeah. What do you, Mr. Pink, what do you mean by could you get to nationals in Wisconsin? What do you mean by that? Xenia Baranova, yeah, that, so I don't understand. I've gotten a few messages from people in the UTR message board. You know, it's my UTR. I've got not necessarily creepy messages, but just like people from my following, I guess, or cult, or whatever you call this. Yeah, correct, Rainier Tennis. That is correct. But sorry, Xenia Baranova. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. But in my opinion, the best way to do it is using social media, because the UTR message boards, like, you know, I get messages. Hopefully, nothing thirsty. Yeah, not bad. I mean, Grayson Prince. Yeah, I was a kid, so you know, whatever. And again, assuming you're a female, you know, Xenia, I'm Xenia Baranova. I'm assuming you're a female. You know, when it comes to like any type of social media, like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, which I only use Facebook for messaging Ian from Essential Tennis, but especially like dating apps. Because here's the thing, I was a single guy at one point, way back in the day, and I can't imagine what it's like being a female in this social media day and age, where you can just contact anybody with any type of text or any type of image. So, I agree. You might want to, as a female, assuming you're a female, Xenia Baranova, why you want to use something a little bit more official, like, you know, the My UTR inbox, like I'm hearing right now. But in my opinion, the best way to do it is just a social network and use text messaging and any type of social media. You get a better grip for people around your level and around your area to play tennis with. UTR is, in my opinion, again, the UTR is not perfect, but it's doing a better job than the USTA as an adult amateur competitive tennis player. It's a cult, Naomi? Great. Hopefully this is not another Jonestown. Well, the reason why I say cult is because I branded my YouTube channel with my like first name, last name. So it's definitely more of a cult than an actual just topic board. But if you guys ever get cult vibes from me, just call me out on it, please. Like, obviously I do memes. I you know, some consumer journalism. I would consider this a consumer journalism thing. But if I ever get like cult creepy, please feel free to let me know. So this is what the draw is looking like. So they gave me the 1 seed based on, I believe they used the dynamic rating system. I think the guy in his dry presentation kind of brought it up. So Zack Barden, he is, I know him from a friend. He might know me, but I don't know him personally. But he's an older gentleman. He will beat Matthew Royer, it seems like. But he's pretty good. He's just a little bit older, so hopefully I can blow him off the court if I get a proper warm-up Syria. So the other person is obviously Zachary Aperson, but to be honest, my biggest goal, other than one match at a time and not being late for my flight, which is tomorrow, my biggest goal is to get to the final, because the top 2 players do qualify for nationals, which apparently is going to be held in the Scottsdale area of Arizona, assuming nothing crazy happens. Normally, it's normally nationals, I believe, is held in Palm Springs, California, according to a friend of mine. But California being, I'm not getting political, but California has different measures, let's say, than Arizona, Florida, or Texas, or even Wisconsin. It's not a good idea for the USTA to hold a national event in the state of California or New York, if you get what I mean. So Arizona would be nice. Arizona's fantastic. I'm sure I could get a direct flight to Arizona from Milwaukee, which is General Mitchell Airport, if I qualify. So yeah, what's up, DatBoy05? How have you been? Do you guys have any questions for me about this? I know this is kind of like a last minute thing, but I wanted to jump on. Shoot, Saria, you and I might need to rent a court like about 5 minutes away from the wherever I'll be playing a tennis tournament at. But I'd be more than happy to pay for it. Radicals are doing good. I still got to string 2 more. I liked Hyper G in it, so I'm gonna stick with a Hyper G in it. That's not a problem. So if I string these 2 with Hyper G, I'll have 3 Hyper Gs at 55, and then 1 RPM Blast Rough 17 on the mains, with the Wilson Sensation 16 on the crosses at 55 pounds as well, just in case my elbow does start to act up, which could happen, but it's good. Conditioning is going well. Ticey 2014. It's going very well. The only good thing about this, I would argue the only good thing about this Fast 4 format is that fitness really isn't that big of an issue. But in all honesty, fitness was always kind of a weapon for me, just because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm like, for someone that's about to turn 31, I'm probably in the top 1% of overall fitness for a male 31-year-old. I will not put ISO speed in anything right now because I don't want to change too many things, and Hyper G is doing just fine. Ronlo V-Lite. There's no way to stream the Fast 4 scam, Bruce Ray, but if Saria is available, he's going to be recording the matches, hopefully in a good angle with my Sony A6600 camera with a pretty good lens. So it's not gonna be a good angle like it is with my GoPro, because I believe if I have to record, I have to get written consent from the other player. I think that's how it works. So I'm sure people would do it just for the experience, but the issue is someone can say no at any given point in time. So what I'm gonna have Saria do, once he warms me up and I show him a few backhand tricks and forehand tricks, Saria and I are gonna make a few videos together, if that's okay with you, Saria. Saria is gonna hopefully be able to get a good angle and use this tripod to host my Sony A6600, which is a fantastic quality camera with a pretty good lens to record the matches. I'm just worried about the angle, but again, any footage is better than no footage, right? Yeah, exactly. Luckily for me, my serve is, I've had the biggest serves in my life so far. The past few times I've hit serves in the past 2 months, because I've changed a few things with it. Yeah, court level view is fun, but I don't hate them lawyer. I can't guarantee that they're gonna say yes. So I'll just have it at the best possible angle that Saria can operate it at. Oh, Bruce Ree. Sorry, I thought, I apologize. I thought the middle letter in your last name was an A. Sorry. I have not played anyone in the draw before, but I've heard from a few scouting reports from someone that grew up in the area of Ohio that the 2 toughest ones would be Zack Barden and then Zachary Apperson, but I should be able to take him. And don't get me wrong, we can do a topic on this. Like, being the 1 seed does have some advantages, but there's also some, the biggest disadvantage is there's a lot of pressure on you to perform to your seed's potential. Yeah, right, dude. That kicker looks nasty. That kicker, Syria, tennis is looking like a 4-5 to me, my man. No, it's fine. I mean, there's obviously a pretty good chance that I might be running into a lefty. Thanks, Brucery. Yeah, so that is the cost of each point for this tournament with some assumptions. So yeah, tennis is not exactly a cheap sport. How do I handle the pressure, PJR drive, or prepare for it? You're always going to be nervous. Even someone like Federer, Nadal, or Djokovic, or Murray, they're always going to be nervous in any level, but obviously the big ones too. But they just handle it better because, you know, they've been through the ringer before. They know that they can trust their strokes. So when it comes to high pressure situations, you have, like, for example, like doctors or cops, right? Or firefighters. They're mentally and physically trained to perform certain tasks that are high stress and high risk, high reward, you know, saving someone's life or, you know, de-escalating a very violent situation. They go into autopilot. That's what training is for, right? They even if they're on autopilot, or even if, you know, they're shaking, or even if they have a bullet in their shoulder, they're still going to operate some things with a certain capacity just because of mental and physical training. So it's similar to tennis. Obviously, it's not life-threatening or anything, but it's just training. So yeah, exactly, Chairman. That's why, you know, Saria and I gotta make a battle plan. So if you guys have any questions on this, please let me know in the comments section below. My flight is tomorrow at, I believe, 4:50 p.m. Central Time, and I'm gonna get there at 3 p.m. Central Time. I'm not gonna check in any bags. I'm gonna carry on everything because I'm not gonna put rackets in a check-in. That seems like a really stupid idea. Also, I want to stay mobile, so I will get to a lot of questions in my Discord and also in the comments of my the comment section of my YouTube videos. I will get to it in the airport lounge with Wi-Fi, so I'll be on Discord as well while I'm answering questions with my laptop. So yeah, Datboy05, I switched to radicals because of arm pain. So thank you for hanging out. I know this is kind of a last minute thing, but I should be able to edit some pretty good stuff with that footage I got about why the Fast Four. So I could probably do that in my hotel room Thursday night, or possibly Sunday. When is the finals if I make it? Maybe Sunday at night. Might want to do some touristy stuff, but I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Lets are not in play, thankfully. Can you imagine losing a tiebreak in the final set? Because it's a win by one, right? It's a win by one, which is... God, that's so stupid. It's a win by one. So can you imagine, like, losing at that stage because of a dribble net cord winner? If that were to happen to me on the receiving side, I would just call it out. Bruce Ree, I play a Night Elf Resto Druid right now. There actually is a raid tonight, but because I'm so busy with work and this, and I've got to record. I got to record the Pros Pro Interceptor. I know I've been slacking on that. Okay. So if you guys haven't subscribed or checked out Syria Tennis, go check it out. He's 3.5, high 3.5, hovering on the 4.0 scale now. So see him on this journey. And as always, guys, happy hitting.